Go live it. Yeah.
Peace and blessings, everybody. It's your girl, Wendy Zizzo, here with Kirk the Jerk. Peace to Nappy Red. He out there, but we're going to still support. He's still a part of the team. But we are Awareness Academy 411, here to give you that 411 on what's going on in the world, give you our 2 cents, give you some knowledges that's, for educational purposes only. And yeah, don't try this at home. And if you do, it's on you. So yeah, what's up, Kirk?
Hey, what's going on? I hope everybody's doing great out there. Saying what up. Peace and love, everybody. We haven't been on in a minute.
We've been out for a little while, People just go through things. I was under the weather for a little while, so I'm back. I feel better. Yeah.
Well, now we're gonna go through.
Let's hit that sound off. Red might not be on with us, but he's still with us. So throw that sound off.
Peace and blessings. Today's topic on Sound Off on C. June Production. Let's talk about this meat that's grown in a lab that's the U.S. or the USAID said that they could sell in the United States. Basically, it's mostly chicken right now. They take chicken cells or chicken tissues and grow it in a lab. Would you eat that? What's your thoughts and comments on that? Sound Off.
That's a real one right there.
That's a hard no. But I think that's already been in circulation, and they just finally told people. What's that? Cashier said, "What's going on? What's up?" But yeah,
what's up? How you doing?
I think honestly that it's already been in circulation because for me personally, is. I want to say maybe 10, 11 years ago, I started to notice a different consistency in chicken when I was eating it. And it would make me feel like, So I had gave up chicken for like 2.5 years almost. Now I might eat it once in a blue moon, maybe once a month or once every 2 months. I don't eat it that often anymore because it's just they be doing too much, man. They be doing too much. And
I think that shit is rubbery. Chicken can be rubbery sometimes.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be.
There's something wrong with that. Like it's not supposed to be rubbery. So it is definitely concerning, if you ask me, in my opinion. I think the reason why they're doing it is because honestly, we have a shortage in food, so they find a way to do more genetic. And obviously, it saves money, but I think it's more of a genetic modified.
I think it's to save money. I think it's less of a problem for them to lab grown it than what they have to go through to actually raise chickens and slaughter them and do all the things that they got to do like that. And it's a longer process too. So there ain't nothing that this country does that don't got nothing to do with money.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like I know in other countries they banned the lab grown chicken. So it's really just be mindful, people, of what you're eating. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to make sure you're getting the real thing, go to like your local slaughterhouse. They have the spots where, there's live animals there and you can catch them right off the end, like right there. You know what I mean? So I would say overall, no.
Hell no, man. I think it's nuts. But I think unfortunately at this point we don't really have a choice. Anything you eat, because of food. Think about it. The FDA wasn't that great as it is, right? We always have problems with FDA, in my opinion, right? But think about them being gutted out. They're really not out there doing what they're supposed to do to protect us when it comes to this food. This food is even worse off now. And now they got some type of virus that's going around. Not virus, some type of infection. And the cow and the meat that's given some type of ring virus or something like ring, some type of bacteria that's causing people to get sick and all that.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
why I just had to stop eating certain things because the side effects that my body was having, like it outweighed the pleasure of the moment. Like you're literally chewing your food for less than a minute, and
mm-hmm.
you're sitting having a meal for less than an hour, and the side effects of that can last you days,
Yeah.
even months. Like seed oils, it takes that like a year to finally process out of your body, and not all of it even goes. What's he saying? Are we pro or anti?
I'm not neither one. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you, in my opinion, right? Um, because I'm looking at Texas law. I read the Texas law, I analyze it, and I understand that there's something called proportionate, right? Even though that you don't have to retreat, right? You have to fight, right? You're allowed to fight and stand your ground, but there's still a proportionate force. And even though it could be argued that having a kid that's 6'1", weigh 200 something pounds versus a 5'8", 135 pound, he's considered aggressive, even though he probably didn't attack him. But it's your perception of how somebody's in your face, because you could be scared and say, well, this guy's twice my size. And then his brother is twice my size, and two big giants, twin brothers, coming at me. I'm thinking that I'm about to be attacked. So I pull out my little baby knife and stab somebody. And it's so unfortunate that it stabbed him right in the heart. Because when you think about it, and everybody keep on mentioning he got stabbed in the heart, when you look at Karmelo Anthony, you know that he ain't no weapon specialist or nothing like that. Like he intended to do it in the heart. I'm pretty sure it just ended there. And in my opinion, if it was really like his intent to murder, it would have been more than one stab. It would have been a poke fest, And it's kind of funny how when it comes to black kids or black people in general, they always find nuance to give us higher charges than average people. Because if I'm wrong, what kid in the state of Texas that got 35 years for the similar crime? This is where it goes. I did research, zero.
Zero, zilch.
So and then the jury selection was a little bit of a problem. Not because you could rule them out.
Problem.
You can't really rule them out because they're black. People don't understand the Constitution. They don't understand how this whole system works and state laws and stuff like that of Texas. You can't rule them out because they're black. But if you rule them out, them three out because they're black, and then there's another person that you said is also educated, because he said because they're educators, they might show compassion for a kid, so that's why he got rid of them. But rumor says there's two people that's not black that are educators that didn't get ruled out. So that's how you can make it look like a racial thing. When people say it wasn't about race, it's always about race in here in America. In my opinion,
I mean,
black people always get overcharged. You don't have to take my word for it. Just look
for
at
me, the entire fact that it got to where it is, to me just screams systematic racism. Period.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's all I'm gonna stand with it. All the details and such. Still in all, like you said, if it was premeditated, it's different, but it wasn't. It was clearly a self-defense thing.
And that's and that's another thing with Texas law that need to change, because a lot of people are saying, well, first degree murder supposed to be premeditated on a federal level in certain states, yes, but not when it comes to Texas law. Texas law, it don't have to be premeditated for it to be first degree, which is unfortunate. And I think that's the reason why he got that charge. To me, I think his family did a disservice to him, because it was no way he should have known in a district like that he was going to have a fair trial. He should have copped out early. He probably would have got 10 to 15 years, probably have to do half, and this wouldn't even be a conversation right now. I don't know.
Listen, just like jaywalking is a law, and it's not always enforced. You know what I mean? So this situation is being enforced, forced. Because of what it is. Like, there's a range here of so and so years to so and so years. So you giving him the high end, like as if he's really a threat to society. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
But the problem is, and this is what I was saying before, and that's why I said that his defense attorney definitely did its service, because if you have a defense attorney, there's no way it should only be one objection on record. So that's an easy fight to try to, not necessarily to get the jurors, the black jurors, get them say that because the jurors was black, and that reason is why they should do another trial. No, but the fact that his defense attorney did a disservice to him, because there's no way possible why you only got one ejection and the whole entire thing, and the only ejection you got is for the black women getting kicked off the juror, which was a good ejection because it's not what you know. If he didn't do that ejection, that won't be something that they could bring up in appellate court. They have to do ejection. So it's been on record that he eject to it. Now a higher court can take a look at it. So I'm glad that he at least did that. But he did a disservice to him. It's so many things that he couldn't eject to because I read the transcript.
Even though he did do a disservice to him, shout out to all of the people that donated towards him getting better defense. Like I think Cardi B donated something, a few other celebrities put in so that this young man can have a fair shot at at his life, like, because it's crazy.
And my heart goes out to the Metcalf family as far as his son, because let me tell you something, white or black, yes, I might be pro-black and I'm more for my people, right? Yeah, I could say that, you know what I'm saying, not a problem. But when it comes to loss of life, especially kids, because at the end of the day, whether I think, and it might come out later that maybe, perhaps, hypothetically, that Austin Metcalf and his brother was bullies. And I mean, they got stories. The stories that's circulating right now that's rumors saying that there was bullying cheerleaders and all that stuff. That's a whole different story. I'm just putting it out there because that's just a rumor, right? It's not written in facts. So don't sue me for what I heard. I'm only hearing what other people are hearing. Now, moving forward, whether they was bullies or not, I don't like to see loss of life for anybody. No kids, no white kids, no black kids.
Not at all. It's unfortunate on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. One lost a life and one is alive but losing his life. You know what I mean? And even just going through all this stuff is all this stuff is traumatic. You know what I mean? Like very, very traumatic for both families, and how they're handling it. On Karmelo's side, crazy. When it comes to the other family, again, my condolences. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, good for anybody." Like that's not cool. I'm not doing that.
And a lot of people, I'm gonna give Austin Metcalf father a little bit of grace, even though he went on a racist rant. And let me tell you why. And this is why I say that the defense team messed up in the beginning, the parents messed up, and they did a disservice, because it would have been perfect if his father would have did an impact statement protecting Karmelo Anthony, because if you look at the beginning stages of this case, his father was sobbing over the losses his kid or whatever, and he also reached out to the Anthony family to try to have communication with them and dialogue, and that would have went a long way, showing that he's apologetic. Not the fact that he's apologetic for defending himself. He have a right to defend himself, but apologetic that a life was lost in the process of it. And he could have been apologetic about it. And believe it or not, in my opinion, even though I think Austin Metcalf's father is racist only because his video, I think that he still would have did an impact statement because of the fact that he was trying to reach out with them, try to connect with them, try to, just try to deal with this whole thing and see where it lands. And they dropped the ball for opportunity, because any good attorney knows if the other side is trying to reach out to communicate, you keep your mouth shut. Let them come over here. Let them have a speech. Let them have to talk. Let them have a conversation. Even if he trash your kid a little bit, let them talk. You know why? Because people get the opportunity to see that even though that this is Karmelo Anthony's platform, his family's platform, they're allowing the father to speak and let him speak his piece, whether it's good or bad. It would be a better impact on the Karmelo Anthony family, but they screwed up. They dropped the ball, and then they hired some preacher that has a record of hitting women. So I'm like, God damn. Yo, we got to get it better. Black people, we got to do better than that. You hire, not only that you hire somebody like Al Sharpton or whatever, supposedly organized in the neighborhood. First of all, he don't know how to organize. He was kind of divisive in his behavior. You can't go into a predominantly neighborhood that's not black and think that you're going to speak that rhetoric and it's going to be received properly through other people. That was dumb as hell If anything, you could have been positive. You could reach out to other people, talk to people, be nice. In this situation, if you know, and the sad part is that they really don't understand Texas. Oh, he's
y'all doing the Asian boycott?
Nope.
No.
You know why? Because I'll be doing it by myself. I'm not wasting my time. It's only powerful if all of us do it. Yes, black people, we spend too much money. We spend more than everybody, right? As far as inconspicuous consumption, we blow our fucking bread.
Listen, I would say instead of doing any boycotts and worried about boycotting, how about you just go support the businesses that you think need to be supported? You know what I mean? Like if instead of purposely boycotting certain businesses, like certain ones I'll agree with, like, you know, when they boycotted Target and all that stuff, like these are major corporations. But when you start talking about a whole ethnic group, you know, it gets a point where how far do you think you could actually go with this? You know what I mean? Because you have to understand the intricate ownerships of different cultures and what they've been able to establish in this country. I like lemon chicken.
Hell yeah. Let me tell you something.
That's, you know, there's a lot of benefits here. However, I feel like based off of everything that happened, that entire idea of Asian boycott is just ridiculous because nobody was even going there. You know what I mean? This one person get on here with a rant off of, like, just because they said one thing, like, oh yeah, I don't deal XYZ. Now it's like the whole thing gotta go. Like, shut up.
Now the Asian guy, it's funny how he was talking crap about black folks, but he was dressed like one of us. You saw him had the ball cap on, had the black shirt on. He looked like one of the dudes in the hood. So he got some nerve to emulate us, but have a problem with us shopping in his business because he said, oh, what you gonna do for yourself? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to be funny. You know, I respect all races. Let me tell you that. Let me make a disclaimer. I respect all races. I might not disagree with everything we all do, but I don't disagree with the black people do too. So if you take the Chinese restaurants out the black neighborhood and you take the hair and salons out the black neighborhood, all you're going to do is save black people money and health. You're going to save the money and health because Chinese food is killing us, even though I love me some chicken. And what you said you like lemon chicken? Me too. But the reality is that shit is bad for you. And then even the hair got all kinds of dye and stuff like that. And we put it in our head and it actually gives us more poison to our body. You know, not every single hair product, but a lot of hair products come out of the Asian markets is harmful for our body. But we take it in because we trying to have this. Beauty.
Overall, this is a part of the American culture, right? The American culture is, especially for certain neighborhoods, liquor store on the corner, deli owned by Middle Eastern people, or North African people. You have different people that have been established to do certain things, right? And then when the people that were already here try to do the same things, they have to go through much more hoops. You know, it's not black people need to do more. Like, we've tried. We
done enough. Put it like this.
Definitely try. And back to what I said before. Stop worrying about boycotting anything and just focus on putting your money where you think it should go. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like, I'm not saying don't buy Chinese food, but okay, why don't you try a different alternative sometimes and find you a different restaurant that's maybe owned by someone that look like you.
And black people, we need to do better with our customer service. I know that we new to this game, but we need to do better because even when I want to support you, y'all leave a nasty taste in my mouth. I can honestly say when I go to the white man, when I go to white man business, I go to white man business, I get treated well. I get treated great. They treat me, pat me on the shoulder. Oh man, you look nice. They do all that shit, even though I know it's bullshit is selling me. But yeah, I want you to do that. I want you to pat me on my shoulder. I want you to do all that butter and that flattering shit because I'm going to buy.
I hear the Atlanta.
I want to get buttered up when I come into your store. We got to do that as black folks, and we need to be tentative towards people. Only time we see black people acting right is when they working for a white business.
Well, you think you was out in ATL and the service was good, right? Or
yeah, and it was It was excellent, and that's why I said I went there first because I'm not gonna lie to you. No disrespect to everybody else, but I think black people cook the best. That's just my opinion. I think my opinion is ruling facts, but we could say it's not facts. So when I went to a few restaurants in Atlanta, very good hospitality, too much food for the plate, which I thought was amazing. The proportion for the plate for the amount of money you spent was amazing.
That's
so I give them mad props, and I think they're doing something right over in Atlanta. But we need to mimic that same model that they have over there
in Brooklyn,
and Brooklyn and Queens and Jersey.
We
got to work on our hospitality. We got to do better with this. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing is for certain, right? When you buy from a black business, you tend to pay more than a white business, an Asian business, or Indian business. And the reason why is because we're not the sole suppliers of the products that we get. So obviously, you're gonna have to spend a little more money if you go to a black business. So since that's the case, black people need to be extra nice, work on their people skills, work on their customer service skills, take a course if you have to. I don't know what to say to you. Look at 1,000 YouTube videos on how to solicit, how to sell to people, because you need because your product will be a little bit more money.
I would go a step further and say start looking into being a supplier. You know what I mean? Start going that next level, traveling to different countries and getting different relationships and, becoming the supplier, because it's possible. Money talks at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, make you some friends in those different, ethnic groups and such, but, hey, I think a lot of people's priorities have been programmed to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And, we're just missing out on certain things that could actually be helpful for us, but on the brighter side of things, the World Cup is going on right now in America and also Mexico. And with the Knicks even winning at the same time when all this started, it's like with all of the craziness that's been going on for the last year, all of this, like I've been seeing so many videos of the Europeans visiting America and all the positive things that they have to say about it. The Scottish out in Boston was hilarious.
I feel going to kill them though. They stay here long enough, they're gonna get sick.
The cones on all the statues is freaking hilarious. My favorite thing about most of these things that I'm hearing is that no matter where these different people come from, when they leave a place, they leave it clean. You know what I mean? Like they're not leaving garbage all over the place. Like there was even a game, it was Japan, and the people were swinging around these blue bags. They're just these blue bags in the air. You're like, oh, that's dope. And then after the game, they not only cleaned up their mess, but they cleaned up all the mess.
What about the salad dressing? What about the salad dressing? Like they trying to take it back home.
Dressing.
Oh my God, they was going crazy. You saw how the guy was talking. He said, "Yo, this is like God right here. This is so amazing." He was going crazy over it. And he want to pack it. And the airlines are stopping them from taking all that stuff. They're
it's liquid. I understand, but they understand now why Americans are so unhealthy and fat and all that, because you see what we be eating. You know what I mean? You see what's available. I mean, if you have a strong enough willpower, you won't eat a lot of this crazy stuff. I'm one of those people. I've still never had Chick-fil-A before. So I know people might say
I'm weird for you, but it's amazing.
I'll never ever eat Chick-fil-A. I've seen what the ingredients are in just the batter alone.
We're gonna talk about
Chick-fil-A. 50 ingredients.
We're gonna talk about Chick-fil-A. We're not trying to get flack because Chick-fil-A has been watching.
That's
YouTube.
True. All right. Well,
we're just gonna say that we don't like the ingredients in there. We're not gonna give details.
A lot of these places, I ain't messing with their ingredients. I'm not messing with the oils. I'm not messing with a lot of stuff. So I personally make those decisions not because I don't like these places, but my body tells me what to do.
My body don't like those places,
right? My body
said,
you can't have this, and if you eat this, there's gonna be a consequence.
Yep.
So I choose to not have this consequence. You see, y'all think Alec Baldwin pulled the trigger. He says he didn't. I'm not sure what year.
I remember when he was making a movie called Rust, right? The movie was Russ, and unfortunately, the lady that was helped producing the film, he had the gun in his hand with live ammo and
Oh,
accidentally shooting
that
her.
happened so long ago.
No, but he just recent. It's still recent. It's been resurfaced
They
recently.
still ain't done with that case.
Yo, man, it
He
ain't.
says the gun went off and its own, but maybe he lied. Oh, he lying.
I don't know how. I mean, don't get me wrong. I held a lot of guns in my
Such a
lifetime, right? I can't
coincidence.
remember. I quite can't remember the type of gun he had, but
Listen, at the end of the day, there should be no
guns
live
going off.
weapons.
If it ain't if it ain't
movie
like
set.
a automatic pistol or
There should not.
semi-automatic pistol, I think that was a revolver. If it's a revolvers are hard to pull. Now,
Yeah,
if
but
it's
there
a
still should be
semi-automatic, some
no
of them are
live
self-triggers.
weapons on a movie set. Like, look at what happened to Bruce Lee's son. You know what I mean? Like,
That was
why is there
intentional.
live weapons on a movie set? You know what I mean? So no.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
I ain't even gonna say
He
that.
he got off because he's a celebrity. You know, that's why I said
That's
the
what I
judicial
was not
system
gonna
is
say. I'll
not
let you say it.
when you got, and this is the whole thing. Like even when it comes to black people in the criminal justice system, right? It's two things that they have to worry about, right? Not having adequate. One of the biggest things that starts the whole situation in a bad spiral situation is when they don't have adequate representation. And I'm not talking about legal aid when they don't have a paid attorney. That's already starting in the negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that you're black is already in the negative. And then the fact that a lot of black folks don't like to do jury duty. So the jury of your peers is not going to look like you. So they can't understand the cultural differences between the person that looks like you. It's not so much a race thing. It's more like a cultural. If you're black and you come from a certain neighborhood, you have a cultural understanding of perception and stuff like that. But if you're not from my neighborhood, you don't understand my lingo, chances are you look at me as a monster or gorilla. And chances are they already said when statistics shows when a black man, a young man, is in any criminal justice system, they automatically age him different, meaning that from an average person that's not part of the race, they look at a young black kid as a 30-year-old. And if he's 30 years old, he look like a 60-year-old, 50-year-old. They just automatically age as different. You know, that's how they look in their eyes. As far as statistics, I could be wrong. I don't. This is like I said. This is all for entertainment purposes. So don't sue us for anything we're saying. We just have opinions. We just a social media giving opinions and stuff. Yep. Nothing is written in facts right now. We're not telling you facts. Like she said about the food in Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A do have a lot of ingredients, but we're not going to talk in details. But it is true. They do have a lot of ingredients. In our opinion, we're allowed to say our opinion. Chick-fil-A do taste good though, but it's not good for you. I don't think.
And anything we mention here, I would highly encourage people to go research it yourself.
Yes.
Please don't take our word for anything, no matter what we're talking about. And even when we're talking about health and wellness, you know, when we're talking about even the current events, please, you have Google, you have ChatGPT now. You could just ask it, hey, is this true? So or Gemini, you know what I mean? Like you have these different resources. Do not hold us to be your say all and this is it. You know what I mean? Like, no, go look at it, because most of the things that I know is because I took the time to research and read. And
what I mean by research, I looked at a lot of YouTube videos. I did a lot of Google research, and I used ChatGPT, and I also use Gemini, and I also use Copilot.
Yeah,
I use all three of them. And let me tell you something.
I read a lot of peer-reviewed articles. I read through.
I get ChatGPT to read it for me.
I read, you know.
I get it to read it for me. God damn it! Oh shit! I'm already. I tell when the time for the robots to rule us over, it's gonna be easy for me. Cause I'm like, yo, ChatGPT. What I do is I take an article, right? It could be 5 pages, right? You load it to ChatGPT and said, ChatGPT, I need you to summarize this for me because I don't feel like reading this shit.
My only issue with these type of things is that it's gonna make people so mentally lazy. It's like you're not going, like with anything, with your muscle, with any part of your body. If you don't use it, you will lose it. You know, and writing and comprehension and reading and all these different things, these help to keep your brain healthy. You know what I mean? Part of the reason why people develop dementia and Alzheimer's is because they're not using their brains. They're watching TV every day, all day. They do the same thing every day, in and out. They drive the same way to work every day. They drive home the same way every day. Like you're setting yourself up to be an autopilot completely, and you're not building and keeping your brain actively learning something.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beneficial to pick up a physical book, touch it, turn the pages, read it. Same thing with, like, I even talk about journaling. You know what I mean? That's one of the tools that I have learned over the years, is like highly effective when it comes to mindset training, to self-development, to self-love, even manifestation. You know what I mean? Like, and journaling is you picking up a pen and paper and writing down what's in your mind, or intentionally creating something that you want to create, or gratitude journaling. And doing this literally does something to your brain. You know what I mean? But if you're just speaking to your phone, or most people don't even type anymore. A lot of people are just, hey Google, da 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 da. You know what I mean? They're not even writing anymore. Like, I'll say that for me, I can be honest, spell correct has made me lazy.
Hell yeah, I'll be misspelling on purpose. Like, I don't remember the word. Fuck it. It corrected for me.
The first few letters, okay.
It'll fuck you up though. I got screwed over a couple of times by spell correct. I'm like, yo, that's not what I meant to say, dummy.
So disrespectful sometimes, but I mean, like, I'm glad that I'm still an active writer. Like, I'm like physically, like pen, paper. I got a book sitting here right next to me right now. But I do notice when I'm writing, sometimes I have to like mentally think, like, oh shoot, how do you spell that again? Like, because I'm so used to the spell correct. I'll even go as far as saying we don't remember phone numbers anymore. I remember when I knew so many phone numbers, and now I remember my childhood phone number, my phone number, my mama's number, and I struggle with my kid. I'm sorry.
That's sad. I struggle. It's funny. I know the prefix, but I can never get my kid's number. I know my wife's. I know my son's. I got my not my son. I'm sorry. I know my wife and my mama. My mama had the same number for like 30 years. I had mom's for like 20 years, so I know my mom's. It's funny too, not to be putting it out there, but I got my mom's her first Sprint phone. When I got tired of Sprint service, I said, "Ma, you like Sprint?" She's like, "What is that?" I said, "I got you." And I got her first Sprint phone, and that's when I went to. It wasn't even T-Mobile at the time. I think it was OmniPoint. I had the OmniPoint phone. That's right. I go way back. If you're in your 40s, you know what the OmniPoint is. But
yeah, but still in all, like, it's important to practice the things to keep your brain healthy, and if you're not practicing more healthy things that you're eating, staying hydrated, most importantly, getting enough sleep. We don't understand, like, sleep is the one thing you can never catch up on. Like, if you're losing sleep, there's no, I'm gonna sleep an extra hour tomorrow to catch up. Like, no, there's no such thing. Whatever you slept that night, that's the standard you just set in your brain. You know what I mean? And whatever repair that your brain didn't get, you gonna keep walking around with that. You know what I mean? Like, sleep is probably one of the most important things that you need. And I know there's some people out there like, yep, I can sleep for hours. But there's some people that can't sleep past 5 hours, which is weird. I know somebody like that. But, it's.
I tell people it's
things are important.
And if you got medical conditions, I recommend everybody go get themselves a Fitbit watch. Because Fitbit watch can monitor your vital signs daily. You don't have to wait to get blood work done. You don't have to worry about getting all this other stuff done. You can monitor your heart rhythm to see if you have any tachycardia issues, to see if you're sleeping good at night. Because you can sleep 8 to 10 hours and only went to REM sleep for like 50 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
which is not good.
You might not have fallen fully asleep,
So it's good to monitor that and your deep sleep and all that. And with a Fitbit watch, it monitors all that stuff. And it records it every day. So every day you could go back a week and say, I wonder how I was sleeping last week. And it makes sense though, because the watch is so accurate that I could wake up in the morning like, damn, I feel fucked up. And then when I look at my watch, it says my daily readiness is like 30. That means that I didn't sleep properly the whole night.
Right,
and as a result, I'm restless, I'm tired, and I wake up feeling the way the watch tells me.
Yeah.
And if it said, and then sometimes I wake up, it says 99. I'm like, oh shit. I wake up and I feel like I'm about to jump out the bed.
There's people with like sleep apnea, and they don't even know they got sleep apnea. You know what I mean? Because they're not monitoring their sleep. Maybe they live alone, or maybe they just stubborn, even though that their spouse or their girlfriend or boyfriend is telling them like, yo, you snoring hard. You know, like you cutting some wood, you know, when you sleep. You know, but
get it
either
fixed.
way, our Awareness Academy 411, our entire mission here, what we do this for, is to bring these type of things to your awareness, to remind you when you're watching, and peace to everybody out there that's watching. Thank you for your love and support. Please like, share, subscribe. You know, let us know what you think of the show, and you know, things that you might want us to talk about, or questions that you may have. But what we're doing here is being the change we want to see in the world by bringing certain things to your conscious awareness that you might not have thought about, or even if you knew about, and we're just adding some more to it, or just reminding you. You know what I mean? Like this is what we need in our communities, is to have more support around the things that could actually help us grow. You know what I mean? We can't keep focusing on all these crazy things that keep us away from ourselves. Because in my opinion, as long as we are disconnected from ourselves, meaning you just zoned in the TV, you zoned in the video games, you zoned into work, you zoned into making money, you zoned into everything but yourself, monitoring your health, your physical health, your mental health, your psychological health. You know what I mean? All these things are so much more important than we think.
And and heart attack research came out recently, right? And I could be getting it wrong, so this is alleged. I want you to do your research. They say it's best to make sure if you're gonna eat, because some people don't eat they eat after 6 or whatever, and they said it's good to eat before 6, but we know that just some people don't, right? But they said one of the most important things that could prevent a heart attack is to eat. When you eat, make sure you stay up for at least 3 hours before you go to sleep. And the reason for that is because your body needs time to do a partial breakdown. It's not going to break down every day 3 hours, right? But it's going to put yourself in more of a better situation. So when it's time for you to go to sleep, you're not going to sleep hard. Because you ever thought about it one night when you ate and then literally went to sleep afterwards, you woke up all fucked up and you felt, I felt like I didn't get enough sleep. Because you didn't give your body a chance to put, it's just like still stuck in your damn throat.
Well, not even that, because your body is still in the process of digesting, it's not resting. You know what I mean? Like your body is still doing even though your eyes are closed and you might be knocked out, your body is still working on that. And also eating and then going right to sleep, this is how you get heartburn. Yes. Because what happens is all that food is pushing up against the opening of your stomach line, your stomach to your esophagus, and there's this little flap that opens and closes. And when the food keeps hitting it and pressing up against it, it makes it weak. So over time, you'll start developing heartburn.
Acid reflux.
You know, acid reflux and stuff like that. So
your stomach acid going up
the practices that you do today will determine your state tomorrow. You know, so a lot of people like, this is just my cheat day. I'm gonna just have this cheat day. Yeah, but how many cheat days you giving yourself? I mean, like how many times a day that you're like, or a week that you're like, oh, this ain't gonna hurt. Oh, this is just a little bit. Or I just do this once in a while. You probably do it more than you think. You know, I doubt very much you got a calendar open up and you writing down what you eating every day, and you probably ate some junk on Monday, and then 2 days go by and you're like, it's okay. I don't eat it that often. Yes, you do. You just had it. You know.
And I recommend everybody to getting your blood work done, see what you're deficient in, and start working on your deficiencies. Take supplements. Make sure the supplement company that you're getting it from.
Anything green is so beneficial. From spirulina, chlorella, what other, chlorophyll, wheatgrass, the list goes. Dandelion root, algae, which is spirulina. But yeah, like this. All these green things help to nourish your cells. And again, back to what we're talking about, the culture here has us thinking, because media and marketing has pushed these things in front of us so much that we feel like this is what we're supposed to do. Like, you ever see ads for like a new product, and the first time you see it, you're like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? But then you keep seeing it over and over and over and over and over and over, and eventually you're like, am I supposed to get this? Should I have it? I should have that? You know what I mean? They do the same thing with music. They'll have a song that's really trash, and they'll just play it so much that it forces you to like it.
And that's the problem.
And
That's
that's
called, and
programming.
that's called social conditioning.
Yes.
They put the stuff in front of you, and they put it over and over, and then before you know it, you want it.
You know it, that's just how you think. And you think that this is the way you're supposed to think, and that this is the way it's supposed to be. And if you're doing it this way, then yeah, that's right. But nah, there's a lot more to there's more to this than people realize. You know, especially when you start understanding and learning more about, like you said, social conditioning. You learn about how the mind works. When you're programming your mindset, anything that you're practicing on a day-to-day basis, you're slowly creating new neural pathways in your brain. So whether you're practicing a good habit or a bad habit, if people that struggle with eating more healthier, if you were to just for 2 weeks start making different decisions, you will notice a change in your diet. Like, after 2 weeks, certain things you'll start to be turned off by, you know, and then you keep doing that, then another thing you'll start being turned off. And then if you do go back to eating the other stuff, you'll notice how your body feels after you eat it. You know, I've had people that I've, really encouraged, stop eating pork, just stop eating it for a few weeks. They listen, they eat it again. Yeah, you're right. That made my stomach hurt. I didn't realize, I thought that was just normal. Like, people have all these different reactions in their bodies, and they thinking that it's normal. You know what I mean? If you gassy and you burping and you passing gas, you're like, oh, that's normal. No, it's not. You ain't supposed to be doing that much,
Yeah, that's true. And
you ain't supposed to smell like a sewer either when you go to the bathroom.
And then another thing too, and I think this is very important for everybody, right? A lot of people don't realize that they have sensitivities with food, but because they just eat anything and it doesn't really get them sick right away, they're assuming that they can eat it. But I think it's very important for everybody to go get a food allergy test. And I'm not talking about that not food allergy, food sensitivity test along with the food allergy test. You have to get blood work done to get it. I'm not talking about the allergy thing when they poke your arm and all that. I'm talking about a full allergy test where they do the blood work. They could check for environmental factors, like anything in the environment that can make you sick. As far as the typical stuff that most people is allergic to, dust mites and all that typical stuff. But I'm talking about all kinds of food, because you could be eating veggies all the time. You're like, well, I always feel bloated. I don't feel great.
And be allergic to some of the veggies. Like if you eat too much spinach, there is a chemical, not a chemical, but there's a part of spinach that can aggravate your stomach lining. Same thing with kale. You might have to change the way you eat it. You might have to steam it before you eat it, not just eat it raw, because a lot of plants have natural defense systems, that when they're being eaten, they'll start to release certain toxins so that whatever's eating it will get sick and not eat it no more. You know what I mean? So certain vegetables do need to be steamed, not cooked to a pulp, because then you're losing all the nutritional value. But, some things it's better to steam. I know which culture does a lot of that. I feel like a lot of Chinese cultures, they do that, in Japanese, like they don't eat raw vegetables. They steam them first.
Well, raw vegetables is not, even though you get better nutrients, it's also come with a lot of other issues. So it's always best to like steam your vegetables. You don't want to, you want to cook it a little bit, especially anything that has nuts in it. It's very important.
Yeah. So overall, the point here is do your best to be mindful of your body, because you only get one.
Yeah.
As long as you hear, you only get one. And just like time, you ain't getting it back if you mess it totally up. You know what I mean? Like this is your baby. For me personally, if you don't know, I'm a stage 4 cancer survivor. It's been 21 and a half years now that I've been cancer free, and I'm still here, and I'm healthy, and I'm good. You know what I mean? All my blood work come back great. And if something is low, I go take me some supplements. I go back up, it's back up again. Great. You know what I mean? I would tell people with the blood work, your vitamin D and your iron, your copper, your magnesium, all these things are very important. You know what I mean? Like OD. Like a lot of people think they have vitamin deficiencies. A lot of times it's mineral deficiencies. Everything I just named are minerals. Copper is a mineral, magnesium, vitamin D is a hormone, and your brain needs it. So yeah, health and wellness, man. You only get one. And if I'm going to touch a little bit more on the psychological aspect, because you are not only what you eat, you also are what you think. And what you practice daily on a daily basis. And
if you eat pork, you're a pig. No, I'm joking.
You're funny.
I'm joking.
So for me, like, I struggled for years with a toxic mindset, just like eating toxic food. I also had a toxic mindset. And along my self-love journey, my self-development journey of, wanting to become better for me, because I kept waking up. So I'm like, well, I might as well do something to get better. I don't like the way this feels. So I have to find a different way. And I found many different ways. And one of the really powerful tools were affirmations. And once I started to incorporate affirmations into my daily life, I slowly started to reprogram my mind. So whenever things would happen, my default wasn't always the most negative. Because I actually got to a point where I asked myself, why am I always thinking the worst case scenario? Or why am I always thinking the worst of the worst? And I noticed because I would always, my anxiety was always through the roof. And I didn't even know it was anxiety. If I'm going to go even a step further, I just figured that's normal life. Because if you're not aware of something, you think that this is normal. And practicing the affirmations, it became such a great help. I was like, all right, there has to be something else. Let me turn up with my affirmations. So then I created the positive affirmation balls, the Posi balls. And before I show you a little bit about them, they are one of our sponsors, so we will let you see this.
Manifest happiness now. Change your life now with positive affirmation balls. Simply roll, read the positive message, receive it, and smile, and roll it again. 4 different balls that will make you feel good about life. Posi balls, what you put in your mind matters.
What you put in your mind matters. And the play on the word matters is that it matters because it's important, but it also matters because it produces a different type of action, a different type of outcome. So, it matters from mind to action. And that's, transmutation. And these are the Posi balls. And real quick, since I have everybody here and I'm talking about them, I'm going to just do a quick roll just so that you can get an idea of the awesomeness from these that I enjoyed so much. So let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Let go and trust the process. This is something I needed to hear today because I was going through it earlier. Because trust me, I still have my moments, people. Don't think because I know all this stuff and I talk about this that I'm this, standard of perfection that things don't faze me. Yes, the hell they do. That's why I had to learn all this stuff so I can keep my mind right. And you are valuable. That's nice. So I like that message. Let go and trust the process. You are valuable. And there's 12 affirmations on each ball. So rolling them, I say rolling them in 3s is always better for me because, the messages keep getting better. And I've yet to come across anyone that rolls these and they're not smiling by the end of it. because they are fun to play with. And you could use them for journaling. You can use them for parties. I know people that have ordered them and they're using them for their groups where they're doing like a group thing with a whole bunch of other people. A lot of women groups order these. So these are impactful. And real quick, the green one is say you're bored, you don't know what to do with yourself. This is to keep you moving. Stay moving. And if you feel like, oh, I don't want to do anything, just do this and pick one. Just roll it until something comes up. You're like, all right, I'll do that. Because the whole point is just to keep you moving. And this one is to boost your confidence. I'm going to get a quick confidence boost. Let's see what I need to hear. You are beautiful. Yes, I am. Inside and out. So, yeah. What you think about that, Kurt?
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's very, very important for everybody to go purchase it. Check out us at possyballs.com. It's right there.
Possyballs.com.
You see it in big letters. Go check it out. Go check the website out. She's have deals. She have promotions right now. So check now,
Check it out.
We have summertime deals. So go and check it out. It's amazing. And it'll change your family. If you have a family that certain kids have mental issues, it don't have to be a mental problem, but I'm saying if you do so happen to come across any kids that you have that have mental disorder sometimes, this is a perfect example. This is a perfect thing that can help them out a lot. So
yeah, I think they help to keep people grounded. They help to keep them more focused on solutions because, you can't solve any problems with the same mind that created the problem. So in order to create a solution, you have to start thinking differently. You have to put new information into your mind so that you have new things to think about. So when a lot of people jump to conclusions of what they think something is, hold up, wait a minute. Go look into it a little bit first. I know we all have reactions, which is normal. And, that is what it is. But for us to progress as a society, instead of you trying to change the people that are out there, you have to change you. And if everybody started taking into account to change them and everybody worked on themselves, then we can come together collectively and there will be a much bigger change. So these are the things that Awareness Academy 411 is here for, because we want to keep you aware of the things that you might not know. Maybe you do know and you need a reminder. And also, we just want to be the change that we want to see in the world. So we ain't going to get up here and talk about the craziness. We're going to talk about the positive, But before we go, there is one crazy thing I do want to mention because I find this to be hilarious and sad at the same time. During the Knicks parade, the ticker take parade, a shout out to the Knicks, by the way. Knicks in 5. This was like monumental for New York because we have not won this in, 53 years?
74, yep. 1974 is the last time we won.
That is crazy. Like, I wasn't even alive the last time they won. You know what I mean? So I think this was a great win. Like I said, and what I said earlier in terms of, all this happening with the World Cup, just all this positive excitement. But there's people out there doing some bonehead things. Like this lady that was making $300,000 a year, and she steals one of the Knicks painted garbage cans. And not only does she steal the garbage can, but she dumps all of the garbage out on the ground, takes the garbage pail, and then she's riding the subway taking pictures. And I guess somebody didn't like her because they reported her to her job, and she lost a $300,000 a year job.
Yep.
I don't feel bad for you. I'm sorry.
Stupid. That's all I can say. Stupid.
That was just total entitlement. You know what I mean? Like to the next power. And then what's funny, or I don't want to say it's funny, but it's kind of funny. Sanitation is giving these away for free now.
How about that?
Like if you contact any local sanitation that they have them, they're giving them away for free. So she ain't even have to do all that.
$3.99, baby.
If I'm making $300,000 a year, I'm gonna look to see if I can buy one. That wouldn't even make any sense. You know, but some people do the darndest things.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah.
You know, but yeah, again, shout out to the Knicks, New York, baby.
And then you know what it is? It's always some. It was funny too because my dad was like, I was like, yeah, I hope it has a game 6, and so it could be in New York. He said if they have it in New York, they're gonna burn down New York City. I was like, even if they win, he said, yeah, because New York people are crazy.
Nah,
And remind you, this guy's
a
a retired NYPD, so he knows how people respond. And then when they won, Antonio, he's like, yeah, they're still gonna burn something down in New York City anyway. He was right. He was accurate.
They burned some buses and stuff, but they
what the hell?
could have been a lot worse. So,
well, how you do that when you win though? Like, what happens when you lose?
No. Do you know how many different cities, like when the hockey game team wins, they turning over cars and setting them on fire? You know what I mean? Like, these people just get that charged up and they do this stuff, which I think it's just pinned up aggression and anger and frustration. And now now that they're so happy, they don't know what to do with it.
How the hell? You know what's funny though? You got people out here tattooing their whole body Knicks, like getting Knicks signs on them and shit like that. I'm like,
hopefully the Knicks win again. So next year.
That's it. They don't have to win again as long as they won in their lifetime. Because think about it, the way I used to crack jokes on my friends and all that, talking about the Knicks gonna win this year, I used to crack. I ain't gonna lie. '96, when what's his name missed that finger roll, Patrick Ewing, I couldn't stop laughing. And people wanted to kill me afterwards. And I was young then. But I couldn't stop laughing. That was the last time they almost won. And then after that, they're getting killed every year. Up until now.
It's crazy. But hey, this is the, entertainment. I have my opinions about sports, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But other than that, I'm still enjoying watching, the people enjoying the World Cup. Shout out to all of the countries out there that's a part of this.
Also, it was really nice.
Huh?
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
They're very nice, definitely. Nice. Also, my heart goes out to Venezuela right now. They just got hit with 2 really big earthquakes.
Yep, and they don't have the resources for it either.
Lots and lots of people have perished, and that's very unfortunate. Nature is doing what nature does, which is very unpredictable. We need to respect them more. But yeah, it's like, there's always something, but I just want to send my prayers out to the people in that country that's going through that right now, because I couldn't imagine, what that would be like. We in New York, we feel little tremors here and there, and it's like, yo, that was crazy, but just for the whole room to just shift side to side and everything oh my God, that has to be insane.
They showed the video when Venezuelans, people, not Venezuelans in general, but just people on a plane in Venezuela, you see the plane rocking back and forth. I was like, whoa, people are nervous.
Yeah. I seen one video of a lady, it was a family sitting in their kitchen, and they're running to get the kids out, but the older one stayed at the table, and the way that the whole room shifted from side to side, I was like, that is insane. And then to get hit with another one right after that, that's crazy.
California got hit too, but California always get earthquakes. That's normal for California.
Yeah, that's normal for earthquake, but to be hit as hard as Venezuela got hit is crazy. I think there was one recently in Japan too, and they had like a tsunami and such. But this is nature. You got to respect nature, and nature isn't just what's outside of you. Nature is also you, because your body is literally nature. You are nature.
Let's make a vote right now. Let's vote that we could try to get rid of the T out of tsunami. Because why the hell is the T in front of it and it's silent? Somebody need to do something about that. The English language is stupid.
Take the T out of tsunami. That's hilarious. There's a few words that you like.
I'm so stupid. I'll be calling it T tsunami because I'm just an idiot like that. I'm like, yeah, the T tsunami. I'm like, what? You mean tsunami? No, T tsunami, nigga. The T is silent. No, not my word. It's not silent with me.
T tsunami. It's T tsunami. That's hilarious. Listen, I hope everybody enjoyed tonight's episode. We are so grateful to be here. We're so grateful for everyone that's tuned in. if you like, share, subscribe, tell people about us. Please, if you have any requests of things you want us to talk about, or even if you want us to talk about you and your business, hit us up. We're here for you. Awareness Academy 411. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe, hit that like, hit that share. You know what I mean? Shout out to Red. I know you're probably out there watching. You know what I mean? Like he out there doing his numbers, and we love and appreciate you and all that great stuff. But I am your girl, Wendy Zizzo, here with Kirk the Jerk. We are Awareness Academy 411, and we'll catch you next time. Peace and blessings.